Welcome back to another episode of Do It Prove It. Today I'm gonna make a, how to put it, a survival bow and arrow, or primitive bow and arrow. I've got the help of my cleaver, my trusty knife, and a machete. So this is gonna be like the handle, and we're gonna taper this down to a narrow section, and then it's gonna take a pretty nice curve. So at the end it's gonna have a shape something similar like this. I'm gonna draw it out. I don't know how well you can see it. So it's gonna have like a little, a W shape, as you can see. I'm just gonna start carving. That's all. So we're just gonna give it like a rough shape. We don't want to remove anything from the backside. We're just gonna take it to a nice shape. Give it a nice shape. So if you're not subscribed to the channel as yet, feel free to do so. You guys can also follow the channel on TikTok and on Instagram. I've actually made one like this before. I mean, when I was younger, worked pretty good. There's a nut right here in the wood. That is gonna cause a bit of a problem, but we're gonna work around it. I think the tree got damaged at an early age, and that caused, but we're not interested in that. We're gonna work around it. I think I have an edge. Well, I actually have an edge, but you guys know what I mean. For the guys back in the days who actually used to do this stuff, I think it was like rocks. They were actually using rocks to like shape the bows and arrows and all of that stuff, and even use rocks to make the arrowheads. I think I'm actually gonna try that. Like, I'm gonna go like a real primitive on this. I'm going primitive on this. So we're gonna use rocks for the arrowheads, and we're gonna see how it's gonna turn out. But so far we got the shape that we want. We've got a pretty nice grip. We're gonna work with that for now. It's still gonna be a bit of material is still gonna be removed. So right now we're actually gonna go from like thick, and then we're gonna carry it narrow, but not so much narrow. I think I'm actually gonna grab some charcoal, and that way I can, have a better reference as to how much material I actually want to remove. So I'm gonna grab some charcoal and I'll be right back. So I've got the charcoal, and we're gonna, this is not gonna be like the actual thing. It's just to give me a reference as to how much stuff to remove. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just have to be, yeah. I think we're gonna fall right into this knot. Yep, we're gonna fall into the knot, but that's okay. And okay, so this side is a little bit shorter than this side, so we're gonna make the adjustment for that, but again, that's okay. So we're gonna start removing some materials, and I think we're gonna, I need to stop this from moving. We're coming into shape. Just gotta do this side. I really hope I don't have a problem when we get to this knot, but we're still gonna take our time and carve it, see if we can get around it. I don't think it's gonna be much of a problem, but we're gonna find out. So I think I want to go easy here just to see how the wood is splitting. See which direction the wood is splitting. That turned out pretty good. That turned out pretty good. So now we're really to the shape that wow, just wow. Let's look at it. I don't know how well you guys can see it. The sun is out. Let me get some shade. So I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it actually turned out pretty good. So we're gonna get to the carving part. We're gonna wrong the edges of it, and then it's gonna be awesome. So if you ever find yourself stranded and actually want to make a bow and arrow, primitive bow and arrow, you actually don't have to go through all of this. It's just, you know, grab a nice piece of stick and put a string, and you're good to go. But I'm doing this just to show you, you know, like you can literally turn anything into art, and that is just it for me. Everything that I do is just art, and I actually like carving stuff. Yep, starting to take shape. This was the damaged part of the wood. It's kind of creating a little curve, but nothing that is going to be an issue. At least that's what I think. Woo! Look at so much stuff that came off of it. There's a lot there, and there's a whole lot behind. So we actually got a nice shape. Let's see if we can get any flex from it. Ooh, that one hurt my knee. Wow, that is really nice. I think just a little bit of material need to be removed from right across here, just to give it a little extra, yeah, just to give it a little extra kick. Ooh, we're gonna see. We're just gonna see. We don't want to do it too thin though, but we're gonna do it. So let me get to this side now, and when I'm finished, I'll get back to like carving right across here, so you guys can see how I'm gonna do that area. But pretty much what I've done here, I'm gonna try and repeat to this side. So yeah, so we're gonna work on the handle. I think I'm gonna remove like a little bit more, remove a little bit of material, I think. Let's see what happens when I try to, if it splits. So it's not exactly the same shape just because of that little notch, I think, but we're gonna work around that. This is the harder part. To this side is the harder part of the wood. That is the not so hard part. So we're gonna make some, we're gonna try and work some magic. Let's see if we can get a really nice wrong handle, and we're almost ready to shoot, I think. I'm gonna test it out with a little piece of string, then we're gonna actually add some primitive stuff to it, wrap the handle and all of that stuff. I think we're gonna have to go from this direction. The wood was splitting. Just a little bit of rough material. Yeah. So we gotta be careful with the grain of the wood. And this wood is actually called fiddler wood. That's the name I know it by. That's what we call it. I'll actually look it up and see if I can find a scientific name for it, but it is extremely hard, and the trees, they get pretty big. I was actually inside of this tree climbing to cut this wood. Crazy. I almost fell out, but that was okay. Wow, it actually feels good. I want to remove a little bit of a material right here. It's so we are at this point and it's looking pretty good. It's feeling pretty nice. That's it. I think it's gonna work pretty good. So let me just put some string on it and we're gonna see the shape that I was telling you guys earlier. I'm gonna clean up my mess and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so we got the bow all set up and everything. You guys can see it's a little out of tune, but that's okay. We're gonna work some magic on it to keep it in place, and hopefully by tomorrow it's gonna take like the shape. Okay, all right, that turned out pretty good. I think I'm gonna have to give it more than one just to be sure. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Give it 3. Okay. So what that is gonna do, it's gonna keep it into shape, right? So we don't have to worry about anything. So that is gonna keep it into shape. We're gonna leave it there until tomorrow. We're gonna add a bit of water to it to wet the wood, so it's gonna keep the shape, and that is it. Primitive bow. We're gonna make the arrows in another video. So I really want to thank you guys so much for being a part of the Do It Prove It channel. All of my subscribers, viewers, everyone, thank you guys so much for being a part of the channel. And if you're interested, you guys can also follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. I'll actually put the names in the description. And if you're interested as well, you know, in our merchandise, you guys can actually check those out. They're actually provided by Vinci Merch. I'll also put a link in the description. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. I mean, when we're actually making the arrows and we're gonna test this out. So yeah.